Today on the Disciple Maker broadcast, Milwaukee Bucks point guard Brandon Knight.
Welcome to the Disciple Makers broadcast. I am your host, Prophetess Marilyn Fisher. Sports fans, do I have a special treat just for you? Joining me live right here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida is Brandon Knight with Milwaukee Bucks. Welcome, Brandon.
Thank you very much.
How are you today?
I'm doing good.
That's awesome. Now, Brandon, I need to let you know right away, it is so awesome to have you right here talking with us. And what I want to really say to you is I really enjoy seeing you interact at the Brandon Knight Skills Clinic, interacting with the different youth. Now, I have to say, I've been told that your personality is very reserved.
Yeah.
And what I saw today was a dynamic young man who's very engaging and very much lively with the community. How do you switch between your public personality and your
personal self? I mean, I just, for the kids, I just try to, just be interactive with them. I try to, make them feel comfortable. So they can ask questions and they can be themselves. A lot of them can be nervous around an NBA player, so I just try to be as homely as possible so that they can just feel comfortable and be themselves and ask questions and play around, and that's really just how I like to treat the kids.
That's wonderful. Now, who was early on? Who was your biggest influence?
My dad definitely. My dad definitely taught me how to approach a lot of things, and that was just with hard work and dedication and doing things the right way. And everything that I did, he made sure I did it the right way.
That is wonderful. Now, I have to say to you, who has been your toughest offensive, as far as the basketball, who has been your toughest offensive matchup?
Toughest offensive matchup, probably Russell Westbrook, very good guard. But I mean, I enjoy playing against everybody. But he's a very good player, very aggressive, attack a lot. So, I'll probably say that.
Now, let me ask you another question. As far as the defensive side of it, have you had a defensive player, or how would you say that person?
Not really. There's a lot of guys that can guard the ball very well. Avery Bradley, Tony Allen, those guys guard the ball very well. But I wouldn't say we have a problem with anybody. A lot of guys play hard and play good defense. I feel like as an offensive player, you just take the defense gives you, and I just got to do my.
The Bucks had that rebound covered. Brandon Knight got inside of the nave and is able to score. Randy Whitman probably beside himself. He's picked up a tee. His frustration showing earlier in the game.
If there was one player that you would say, I would love to really play with that guy, and you get really fired up about playing with that particular person, who would that person
be? I mean, I wouldn't say I get fired up about playing with anybody, but there's a lot of guys that play hard, that play the right way, that that you enjoy watching and stuff like that. I love certain guys the way they play the game. I love Avery Bradley. He plays hard in possession. I grew up with him, playing against him, so he plays for the Boston Celtics, and I enjoy watching him play, and I hope wish him the best.
Wonderful. Now, when did you realize there was something different, that you had a God-given gift or talent?
I would probably say when I was younger, maybe in middle school. I was just a little bit faster than everybody else, a little bit taller, a little bit more a little bit more aware as far as the basketball went, and that was pretty much when I knew I had a chance to be good if I could seem to work it.
Athletic four-man who can score the ball and block shots defensively.
Knight to the hoop after 5 missed shots for Pinecrest. And then Brandon Knight said, how about a pull-up 3 right in your face? 8-8.
Well, we mentioned Brandon Knight Skills Clinic. What motivates you to want to do something for the youth in the community?
I mean, just the fact, that I'm in a position to do it. just to take a weekend out of my summer, just to allow kids to come back and like I said, interact with an NBA player. Some of them might not grow up to be NBA players, but an experience like this, I think will last a lifetime. So they don't, even if they don't come back every summer, even though that we hope that they do, and hope they enjoy themselves. Just one hour, 5 minutes on the court, with me, or any interaction with me can, like I said, last a lifetime, change a life. NBA players have a big impact on our young kids today, so I just felt, it was something that was important to me.
All the way.
And it's so wonderful to see people such as yourself doing things that are positive and being a positive influence on the community. Now, is there someone who was there for you in the same type of situation?
I had older guys that would always, I have a guy in here that works at camp with me now, Henry McNabb, who, helped me out a lot growing up, and always was with me when I was into the gym, helped me when I was playing pickup. I had, a lot of coaches coming up. I had my middle school coach, Ms. Patrick, another AAU coach that helped me a lot. A really good family friend, Johnny Flemings, who helped me a lot. So, there's been a host of people that helped me growing up as a kid.
And I have to ask you, 20 years from now, what do you want Brandon Knight's legacy to be?
Just of course, a great player on the court, with somebody also that that does their best to help the community, help somebody that really helps society. Just a stand-up guy. Just like I said, just knowing that that I'm helping kids and they have positive things to say about basketball, about life, about school, and feeling good about themselves. That's the key.
And where does that motivation come from? Because we know everyone doesn't want to use their resources to help children.
I said, just knowing that I had the opportunity as a kid, and knowing growing up with a lot of guys when I went off to camp, they were at home, didn't really have that chance to do that. So that's really what inspired me to want to be able to do this camp. Because like I said, I know a lot of people growing up that didn't have the opportunity, and I know that I did, and I know the differences between how I grew up and what I grew up growing up. So I know the experience could definitely, like I said, change the life and put a guy on the right track and on the wrong track, and give him a different point of view about life than he didn't have before.
Absolutely. Now you are a man of faith. How does the faith factor per se impact your game?
In every way possible. I think that's the most important thing. I think that without my faith, without God leading, I wouldn't be able to do any of what I'm doing now. I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in. So I think all of it is based on that.
And how did you come to that saving knowledge of Jesus Christ?
I was involved with it. And, there's a lot of things that I've been through in my life where I know that the only thing that could have brought me through was Jesus Christ. I've always been aware of Him, and I was thankful. Like I said, all of this is as a result of Him giving me the opportunity to do it.
So do you see this as a calling per se?
Definitely. Like I said, I really wouldn't have seen myself doing a camp. I kind of fell into it, as people around me. So maybe you should do a camp, and I was like, I don't think so. So, like I said, now I'm in my 4th year doing it, so that lets me know that, a lot of times when we do things in life, it's not something that we envision ourselves doing, or something that we necessarily even want to do, but it's something that is best. And like you said, I'm a reserved person, so camp for me, I knew I would have to be a little bit different, when it comes to interacting with kids and stuff like that. So it was something a little bit different, but like you said, I would say it was probably a calling for me to do this camp. It's 4th year, and I plan on doing it next year and the year after. So I want to do it as long as I can, and as long as I'm let to do it.
20 years from now, what will the Brandon Knight legacy be? Where do you see yourself? I know being in the place where you are right now, on top of your game, I don't know if you look that far into the future. Where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
20 years from now, I see myself, mean, I really don't know. Like you said, you know, we'll see what I'm called to do. But hopefully I can have a long career on the court. And we'll see what happens off the court. And I definitely want to go back to school. Like I said, as far as the overall, you know, image of, you know, or what I'll be doing, you know, I'll leave that in God's hands.
That's a good place to be when you can just give your life to the Lord.
Right.
And that His will be
Right.
Well, Jim, there was no question about it. They were looking for the three, and that's kind of the gunslinger mentality of Thad Matta.
Kentucky with 15 seconds.
They should go for the last one at about 8 seconds, so they have 7 or 8 seconds.
It's in Knight's hand. He beat Princeton at the gun. Here he shoots. Yes, with 5 seconds. Ohio State racing up the floor. Their season on the line. Buford for the win. No, and Kentucky pulls off the monster upset. Wildcats take out the #1 overall seed of the tournament.
Now, your year with Coach Calipari, what was that like?
It was great. It was challenging, but I think that's why I like it so much. When you're challenged and you can succeed, I think it's much better than just going through with no challenges and no failures. You know, so I had to fall down and get back up. And once I got back up, I made falling down. So
Isn't that sweet? Now, that must be hard for someone who's been #1 in every area, especially being called Mr. Basketball in the state of Florida.
It was tough, but I mean, I had challenges in high school. I had injuries, certain things, certain setbacks. There's always things that, you know, where I kind of fell down and had to get back up. That was probably the first time where it was in basketball. There was always things where I was upset or it didn't go the way I planned it, and I had to recover from it.
It sounds like the hero story. There is no one set journey that you go from,
Right.
you know,
My dad once told me, in order for there to be a hero, there has to be a villain. So, I mean, that's very true. You know, I mean, if everything's going right in your life, how can you really be a hero? You know,
That's true.
So he told me
That's beautiful.
He told me that in order for you to be a hero, you got to go through something. You got to be a couple of villains in your life.
There has to be opposition and challenge.
Right. So, I mean, that's always how I look at things when it comes up against me. I know that if I'm in a situation, I know that first off that the Lord allowed it to happen because He wouldn't put me in a situation where I couldn't overcome it. And like my dad always says, you can't be a hero unless you have those things in your life that you got conquered. I always approach them with
With
optimism.
that attitude, a positive attitude.
Brandon Knight comes to get it. 12 seconds left. 10 seconds. Brandon splits the defense. Hooks on the run. He hits it. He hits it with 7.8 seconds to play. Pistons by 1. Finally, the clock starts as Lowry picks up the basketball. Got to get a stop. Lowry with a force. Off the rim, over the glass, out of bounds, at the buzzer. Pistons winner.
Brandon Knight's still winning. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's just something that I've been doing the past couple of years, just to give back to the community, give back to the kids, give them an opportunity to come out and learn a lot of things basketball-wise, to get some good knowledge about working hard. A lot of things as far as goal setting goals. You know, we talk about a lot of things. We give the kids a chance to ask questions. A lot of my NBA colleagues come through here and walk through the camp, and sometimes they may speak to them, and they give the kids a chance to meet them as well and talk to them. So I mean, it's just an experience where a lot of kids can just, like I said, get a lot of exposure to NBA guys and people that have helped me get to where I am now. And it's just a great experience.
You know, listening to you just talk about the skills clinic, I hear that you're teaching life skills. You're teaching students you're teaching young people how to set goals. And so it goes far beyond just a game. It seems like this is just a tool that you use to motivate.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely true. Like I said, we just bring the kids out to have fun, to learn, but it's not all about basketball. We teach them to build relationships. We teach them to like I said, teach them that basketball may not work out, but we have to be able to you're good in school, so you can venture off into things that you want to venture off into. It's not just about basketball. It's definitely about a lot more in my eyes.
It's about life.
Right.
It's about life. Now, I've had the opportunity to be here.
Back.
I've had the opportunity to just be an observer and watch these kids go from day 1 to day 2 in the clinic, and I have to tell you that it's very impressive. And I know you do a lot for the kids with goodie bags, T-shirts, and you give a lot back. How are you able to do that?
I mean, it's a lot of help. You know, we have a lot of sponsors, Aqua Hydrate, Gatorade, Kind Snacks. Pinecrest allows me to come back and do my thing. There's a lot of things that go into a Subway provides us with meals. We got pizza as well. So there's a lot of sponsors that help. Adidas, they sponsor me throughout the year, so they provide me with shirts and things like that. There's a lot of things that go into it, a lot of planning, a lot of preparation. My brother, after the night, does a great job, getting it together, getting all these things situated. The AD here, Jeff does a great job, making sure everything's coordinated. We got Henry McNabb, co-director. There's a lot of things that go into the coaches have to take time out of their schedule on Saturday and Sunday to come out and help. There's a lot of things that go into this thing.
And it really shows because it's done with excellence and great quality, and you can see the children just beaming. And also, the big part is you do see skill improvement, and their confidence are building.
Definitely think that the kids get better at it. Their skills improve, and they learn to compete as well. We got a lot of competitors in this thing, so they learn how to compete.
That's awesome. And everyone seems to be made to feel valuable.
Yeah, I speak to everybody. There's no favoritism here. Like I said, everybody has equal opportunity in this camp. And like I said, it's about everybody comes together and sharing this experience together. Like I said, that's how you build relationships as well.
Do you ever see yourself in the kids?
Oh, definitely. When I was growing up, I was a lot like a lot of them. That's why I can laugh and relate to them, because I know I used to be just like them.
You'd be up by 1, and they'd have to foul you. But no, he gets that 3 look. You need it.
Oh, man. How about a popcorn victory here? 5 seconds. Knight. Take that. 1.4.
Wow, what a night Knight has had. Look at this, just stay in a 1-on-1, and he's been making it all night. They're going to take a look at it to make sure it's a 3 or a 2. Do we know, was it a 3?
I'm here talking with Brandon's father, Ephraim Knight. Ephraim, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
This is such an awesome opportunity just to find out a little bit about Brandon from his dad. I have often heard him say that you're one of the great influences in his life, especially academically. Why so much on academics? Why does he always bring that up?
Academically always brings success.
Wow. How do you see that? Let's explain it. Yeah.
I'm always a type of dad that be the very best that you can be, no matter what it is. And it starts with academics. I wish my mom and dad would have pushed me, and I'd have went to college.
Just hearing you saying that, I wish someone had pushed me also, and that I had gone farther than I have gone. So I think that's awesome to have a father who will push you and make sure that you do the best that you can in every area. Because we know that he could probably be just equally successful with or without an education, but that's key. Now tell us a little bit about him, something that no one else knows about him, that he wouldn't mind you sharing.
A little bit about Brandon.
I'm sure I got some book.
He's shy. That's all right.
He's shy. He's always been shy.
Always been shy. He's finally beginning to open up a little bit, but he's always been shy.
What brings him out?
What brings him out?
Yeah.
Competitiveness.
That's when the true Brandon shows up.
Right.
I heard him talk about his motivation and how he's always had a motivation to outdo himself. He's a perfectionist. Does that show in other areas of his life?
Absolutely, absolutely. I try to teach all my boys to be professionals. Whatever you do that 100%. When I go to work, that's what I do. 100%. If you're going to do it right. Don't do it at all.
Is it a reflection of you? Thanks for joining me today.
But there are others who talk about dominance. Brandon Knight crushes the number 11 on Miami's side, Chris Anderson. That was completely unexpected.
Brandon Knight got up there and said, get that shot out of here with the block. And then John Henson, remember the first time he played substantial minutes against the Heat, he had 17 and 18, and he's putting on the same type of show here tonight against the Miami Heat.
Joining me right now is Kim Patrick. Kim, tell me a little bit about your relationship with Brandon. How did you come to know him?
Look at you. Okay, first of all, I was his coach. 6th grade, he was the only 6th grader I kept. Usually when kids enter middle school, I just want them to focus on academics. And all the kids came up to me and said, you need to get this one. And they all knew my philosophy. And so they all came up to me and they were like, you got to get this kid, you got to see him. So when I did see him, I did pick him up. And then his 7th grade year, we went undefeated. I was pregnant with my youngest son, and we were beating everyone. And with him and Byron, which was his teammate. So we played against everyone, and they were complaining that a woman was coaching the boys team and were beating everyone. And after his 7th grade year, I went on to become an assistant principal.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm not going to be here. You've accomplished everything. So we all, got together and made sure he got into a nice school like Pinecrest so that he can actually play in 8th grade on a varsity team. So he spent a lot of time with the varsity, but he was special to me because he was a 6th grader that carried the team. It was remarkable. He was humble, and usually I'm a behavior specialist, so I noticed his behavior was so quiet, so I wanted to bring the best out of him. So I followed him from middle school up until this point right now. We have like a mother-son relationship. I mean, I have no disrespect to his own mother. I love all of them, but it's just like with my job, my mission, my purpose on earth, I believe my ministry would be children and make the best out of all children, not just Brandon. I've impacted many of generations, and he just happened to be one of them. And I usually want to see children make the best out of themselves because I'm the 9th of 10 children. So it's great for me. It's a great accomplishment to have graduated from high school, college, master's degree. So I want to go back, reach and help others to get that accomplishment.
Coach Patrick, that is an absolutely amazing story, and it's awesome that even a woman coach could do such great things.
Yeah.
But the beauty of what you just said is just knowing that in your heart that this is a ministry that he was given to you as a special gift, and that you have put your imprints on this life.
Absolutely, and it's absolutely a pleasure, to work with all children.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank you for talking with us.
Thank you for having me. Yes. Thank you.
This is Brandon Knight coming to you from the 2nd annual Brandon Knight Skills Clinic. We just worked on our kids getting better today, working on their skill sets, working on their personal things, and working on getting in shape. I find motivation in different places, different days. If somebody says something negative about me, I can't do this, can't do that, that might be my motivation for that day. My competitive nature is very thirsty. I think competition brings the best out of everyone. You can show who you are and who you want, when you're up against somebody that's competitive. It was a great turnout. People were happy, and that's what we want. I had fun with the kids, and we hope to see you next year. Thank you.
I want to thank you so much for being on Living Witness Television, Disciple Makers broadcast. It has truly been a pleasure meeting you and being able to talk with you today. Keep doing what you do. God bless you.
Nothing left. All I really know is 100. Nothing left. 100. Till nothing left. All I really know is. Take to the set. Got me feeling like Jackie Robinson. Rocking the 42 in my Dodger fit. Gripping the arm that was just pricked by a pitch. Crowd the opposite. Saying that I should quit, but I love the wall of it. You can hate, but you can't hurt me. You can hate, but you can't hurt me. And my worth is safe. I can leave this earth today. Gassed up on grace. How they gon' circle K?